glowy, like BlizzCon. It looks pretty sweet, but I don't know if have you seen that one before? Am I the only one?
No.
Okay, good. Okay, I may be a little crazy. It's been a while since I casted StarCraft, and it's a week without StarCraft makes me crazy. So, all right,
Yeah.
This is gonna be MLG Antigua Shipyard, and it looks like this is gonna be a cool map. I think. Oh, actually, there is gold bases on the MLG version, unlike the GSL version, which is ever so different. So Terrans love putting planetary fortresses down in the middle, and getting that extra income that way. But I think this is gonna be a pretty standard game yet again.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have a Nexus first again, man. I don't know what else to say. These Protoss players, they just love their Nexus first, and it's on maps where their opponent knows where they spawned. Like, it's not. They're not trying to trick them by like giving them the wrong scouting location or something first. It's just he knows where you spawned, man. Like, he's gonna scout it.
I mean, he's like, all right, guys, I'm just going to throw down a Nexus first. I don't care if you scout me first. I'm solid enough to hold it off. That's what he's saying. Like, this is the trademark of not cocky play. That reminds me of, like, Nada or some of the Korean pros who are like that. But this reminds me of, like, I know I can hold this off because I've done this 1,000 times. And that's really what's frightening. When you see someone on a map where you know exactly where they spawn, throw down a Nexus first, that's when I get the most scared, at least. That's when I get...
This is a statement, man. Like we're gonna again with Fiery on that 2-player map on Cloud Kingdom opening Nexus first. Like they're not gonna scout you. He knows they're gonna scout you, and he's like, I'm gonna do it anyways.
He's like,
I'll do what I want.
He's like, all right, I can do this, and you can do whatever the heck you want. I'm just gonna hold it off and kill you with my economical advantage. Like, that's all that he's saying. We do see a Cyberport did go down for Shiny A, so he does have those 2 gateways up and gonna be going soon, as well as 1 gas has finished and he is mining from, but no second gas as of yet. Probably gonna be opting for either a Fast Zealot, which he is. Yes, he is getting that Fast Zealot out. Possibly gonna be getting a Stalker, but I don't expect many sentries early off in the game.
And this is a variation on what his teammate did. His teammate, of course, went 1 gate expand off of this Nexus into Forge Twilight Council, and we have a 2nd gate up here with a little bit less gas taken for Shiny A. So, just interesting. A 2nd gas is being added on now, and we are going to have some Stalkers start to reduce any marine pressure here. But this is it's cool to see that they have different mindsets for how they want to play this matchup, even with relatively the same build.
I want to see Terran grab a fast third base. That's what I want to see, honestly. He does have the bunker at the front, and you know what? If he threw down a third base right now, he'd not only have the economical advantage, but he'd be able to hold it off. I mean, 1 bunker at the top of this ramp holds off a lot of stuff, especially with SCV support repairing that bunker. Like, that's maybe not be the smartest decision at this point because he needs to put some pressure onto his opponent. Yes, we do see Stim is on the way as well as 3 barracks producing units, but I think he could squeeze in a 3rd command center. Honestly, that's just my personal opinion.
And the NRG players are playing this a lot differently than I expected them to. I mean, I really expected to see a different mindset of I need to either punish this or be really, really greedy at this point. And so far, minus the game that Coma 2-racks the last game, we've seen pretty standard follow-ups, not really greedy or really all-in for the most part from these Terran players from NRG.
Yeah, right now Coma is what we've been playing about middle of the road. He's not overextending himself, building too many different things with his expansion. He's just getting a couple of barracks out, getting that Stim, going to be opting for that combat shield probably directly afterwards, getting that factory up, going to be going directly for medevacs, and possibly going to be doing that 2 medevac timing yet again.
Well, it looks like it's a good decision by Coma not to go for that really fast third, because we have a 7-gate coming out of Shiny A. No upgrades, no further tech. These medevacs are probably going to be helpful if that's what Coma decides to go for very soon here. He's actually going to add on 2 more barracks, though, and a 3rd goes up for Shiny A. So looks like it's going to be 7-gate pressure. I wasn't exactly sure that was a thing.
That's kind of cool. He's able to squeeze in this 3rd base because he knows his gateways are not running yet. So otherwise he'd have 400 extra minerals sitting there. And plus he's just going to be able to produce anyway. So right now, Terran, if he scanned with these 7 gateways, thinking his opponent is all-inning, all the while like Protoss is gonna be able to squeeze out a probe or two here and there. Like he's not all inning at this point. He's just doing a lot of pressure. Like he probably won't use all 7 gateways, but Terran will scan at around the 9-minute mark, 8.5, 9-minute mark, and see what the heck's going on. And like that's why the 7 gateways are all together. So when Terran does scan, he knows exactly what's going on. Well, he thinks.
All right. Well, we're gonna see some MC style aggression with very heavy Zealot Sentry pressure here. It's 82 to 60 supply right now. There's a huge lead for Shiny A and a third base already basically complete with no third even on the way for Coma right now. Coma is probably going to be in a lot of trouble with only one bunker, and Stim just now finishing.
Oh my, that's a lot of force fields being used up. Some of them are wasted. He could have used 1 or 2 less force fields in that engagement. But it looks like with all those sentries and Zealots mainly against pure Marines and SCVs, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Forced to lift up that national expansion. And you know what? Shiny A is in a fantastic position. He has his third base up and running. He has his natural working. Like he has going to unit counter station. He has 42 to 42 probes to SCVs. Like he's in a really good position at this point. Like right now, I would be surprised if Coma could pull an extravagant comeback. Like he's gonna have to do something to really bring himself back into this game.
Yeah, he's really got no anything. He's got, let's see here, almost 16 Marines, 1 Marauder, 1 Medevac, now a second Medevac. He's completely supply blocked because he lost like 4 depots at his natural. His factory is scouting around, gonna get killed off probably at one point. And Shiny is following this up with a little bit of tech, adding that Twilight Council. We may see some double forges go down soon. A 5th and 6th gas being added, and Coma's only mining on 1 base. He's going to mine this out so quickly with double mules. And Shiny's just like, well, I'm not going to walk up your ramp, so what are you going to do?
Yeah, he's just pulling back, going to let his opponent move out. And you know what? Right now, Coma's forced all in, honestly. Like, what does he really do? He sees Protoss' third base. Like, yeah, he tries to land his factory, and he's like, this is the realization sets, and he's like, oh, God, my opponent has a third base up, and I don't even have a natural. Like, I'm dead as everything. And right now, we do see Protoss is going to be moving back. You know, I like this decision. He's going to get more units out. He should be getting, yeah, he does have charge on the way. Actually, for that Dark Shrine, going to be getting those Archons out, as well as going to be going for DTs. When you're ahead, just Dark Shrine anyway, because DTs are awesome units.
Win behind, drop a shrine. Win ahead, do it
drop
anyways.
A shrine. But,
well,
yeah, see, here's the yell line from Terran. He's first of all, he knows he's behind. Like, he's way behind right now, so.
I actually really like this decision to go DTs from Shiny, man. If this finishes in time, like, he's going to force Coma to burn scans. He's pulling SCVs. Even if he didn't, like, he killed the turret and the engineering bay already for his opponent. So this is really smart.
Oh, that choke. Oh, man. Those force fields are wonderful, blocking a lot of units from entering as well. We do see Coma going to be moving up to the ramp of that third base. Going to be easily able to take out that third base, but at what cost? That's the thing. How many units is he going to lose to kill off his third base? Like, now he's opting to kill off Zealots, but oh, a great Zealots around. Great warping from the back, going to be able to use Guardian Shield on those units and saving a lot of those sentries, which are ever so important. Yes, he will lose his third base, but he has tech. He has a lot of tech on the way. He has DTs up. He has a ton of sentries in the bank. He has all these different units, and oh, he can't lose those sentries. He really can't. Those DTs are at the front. Great force fields going at the back, but you know what? There's a scan, and it looks like, ooh, this could be so close, but unfortunately, I think Coma's going to be negated here.
Yeah, currently the supply is even somehow, though. Only 28 harvesters for Coma at this point. Still no tech, no eBay. It just medevacs and Marines and Marauders. And he did a lot more damage with that than I expected him to. Shiny A, I feel like, gave up the concave and kind of attacked into a choke point. I thought that was really weird for him to do it as third, but it almost didn't matter. Of course, he lost way more than he should have, but in a sense, he didn't. He's still way ahead at this point.
Indeed, and he's forcing the scans to be wasted. He doesn't have a scan right now, so he's forced to pull down a missile turret. And you know what? This DT is just going to wreak havoc, man. Like, he doesn't have enough for a scan. He's going to kill off that missile turret. And you know what? Oh, there's a scan. But right now, Coma is just in a bad position. He's like forced to stay in his base. Like, he's hold positioning his units because he knows he can't do anything about DTs until he gets the scan up. And all the while, we see Shiny just retaking that third base.
Yeah, and I got to harp on the fact that, you know, Shiny gave up that third. He had the concave at the third base location, like, as the Terran was kind of moving forward with those SCVs where we saw those force fields, if he had gotten those force fields behind the Marines and stuff, like, that would have been a pretty decent concave for our Protoss player. But I just did not like that engagement to pull back and then attack while the Terran was on a ramp.
Indeed. And you know what I do like about this main engagement? He moved back as soon as he saw the missile turret and then warped into Archons because he knew the DTs weren't going to be as effective. That's a very smart decision from Shiny A, and it looks like he's just sitting outside Terran's base, putting that pressure on, and he will be moving in very shortly. He does have the army advantage as well as the economic advantage, so right now the ball's in his court. He can do whatever he wants at this point. He could tech, he could grab a 4th base if he wanted to, and it looks like he's just going to continue warping in units, and it looks like, yep, Coma's forced to move out and try and do something, but it looks like he's going to be caught out of position yet again.
Yeah, and, you know, Coma's not even making SCVs at this point. He knows he's pretty all in, and he needs to just make units. It's exactly what he's doing. He's doing a pretty good job of it. Kites a lot of these units out, but probably will not survive this attack with another warp in there. There is the GG.
There's the GG.
Dude, my intent goes up 3-1 against NRG, and I am... It's not like a blowout in any way, but this is insane. I'm kind of surprised. I thought this was going to go a lot closer than it's looking.
You know, that game, it was very particular. It's like Shiny A knew exactly what was happening, and he said, okay, I'm going to let you kill my 3rd because I'm going to make you freak out because I have a 3rd. He took a 3rd very quickly. He said, okay, yeah, you can kill my 3rd, but I'm going to have tech to back it up with. I'm going to say, all right, you're going to overextend yourself to kill my 3rd with your Marauders and Marines and your medevacs? Well, I'm just going to push into you till you die then with these Archons, DTs, Zealots, Sentries, Stalkers, and he had a lot of units. That's the thing. That's 7 gateways. He ended up using all 7 gateways at some point. And even though he got them very early, maybe he didn't spend them as soon as he got them, he used them eventually, which was the best part about it. So very well executed, very well planned out, and very just awesome play from MYI.
You know, I kind of wonder if it would have been more efficient for our Protoss player to maybe make a couple less gates with that pressure and maybe go for some form of tech. Like, if he were attacking originally into the Terran player's natural, like, I almost feel like that's going to work or it's not. And the difference between it working and not working is the same thing that makes a 5-gate work or not work, right? Like, it's the same concept. If he has the bunkers for it, then he's ready, and if he doesn't, then he's not. And he wasn't ready, so I feel like a 5-gate would have done essentially the same amount of damage, especially with how he was spending all that money on his expansion also. So, I don't have nearly as much experience, I'm sure, but I almost feel like maybe going for a 5 or 6 gate with double forge just to kind of like, you know, keep yourself in that tech loop would have been a little more efficient.
But, you know, that's something that's kind of different from MYI. They tend to be this very tech-oriented play. Like we saw the last Protoss, he went very early tech, getting out Templar, getting out speed. And now Shinya is actually how you say it. He actually corrected me, thank goodness. It's not Shiny, it's Shinya, my bad. He does the same thing. He does this tech route. He says, okay, if I'm not going to win economically, I'm going to win technologically, which is very, very cool play. Very cool things to see. And he uses that advantage very, very well. That's what the critical thing is in players nowadays. Like, they say, okay, I'm going to go get TTs. I can drop your main, but when am I going to use it after that? Like, using it later on is just very important.
All right. Well, looks like we are about to get ready into another game here. But are we going to take a break first?
Yes, okay, we're going to take a break.
Looks like we're going to take a very short break here, you guys. So thanks for sticking with us. Make sure you press that follow button up at the top left-hand side of the screen. I think it's right here, actually.
Marines is making us look like idiots, man. All right.
Well, I'm doing this on a 1.5-minute delay, so I'm like trying to figure out exactly where my hands are based on what I was doing previously. Fine. But
yeah, it's the Indie StarCraft Team League. We should just have fun with it. I like having fun with it. So until I pull my jacket out, man. So we'll be back shortly. See you soon. Peace.
To hold us off. The Nexus is probably going to be going down that one Colossi, and there's some ridiculously lagging. GG!
Oh, nice. Down to the big one. And those Vikings are going to focus down. All those Colossi are probably going to go down.